Hey kids, it's Dad. Welcome to the Gaming with Dad show. Today we are looking at Pilgrims for the Nintendo Switch. Presently it is on sale for $1.99, 2 bones, regularly $6.99. That sale is good until June 3rd, 2024. Tramp, Granny, Bandit, and Devil. Pilgrims is a playful adventure game created by the team behind Machinarium and Summeroost. I'm sure I said that wrong. Roam the land as you please and make new friends. Share a laugh with your fellow travelers and help them complete their little stories. Your way... Oh, sorry. Completely read that wrong. Share a laugh with your fellow travelers and help them complete their little stories your way. How many different solutions can you find? So, originally released November 3rd, 2022, single system adventure puzzle from Amanita Design. Again, pronunciation, not great. Rated E10+, supports all 3 play modes. It is 409 megs and is available in Dutch, English, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese, Russian, simplified Chinese, Spanish, and traditional Chinese. So essentially, if you speak a language and can buy a Switch, you can understand this game. Yes, this is a point-and-click adventure with a delightful art style. It is really relatively short, though. That's all I'm going to say. So, if we look at the graphics, this does remind me an awful lot of Richard Scarry or some of the more dark comics. Comic strips, not actual comic books, but comic strips. It has a very pleasing hand-drawn aesthetic, hand-painted aesthetic to it, and it does an excellent job representing the stories that are being told here. And you do actually kind of get a little invested in getting your character through this strange little world. So, graphically, once again, this is right up my alley. I love a hand-drawn aesthetic. I like the artwork here. It's a little weird, but it is still very well done. I am giving graphics an 18. Sound-wise, the best thing I can say about the sound is it's non-offensive, it's infinitely forgettable, it's not intrusive. The characters babble instead of talk, which is fine. You get everything you need through the visual bubbles. I'm not even sure why they had to go through the process of all of the translations, because there is very, very little actual dialogue or instructions once you get into the game. So it was really just redoing that title screen. But yeah, sound-wise, I am giving this a 16. We are presently at 34. Controls. It's a point and click. Therefore, you're going to get the cursor and the mouse, and you collect the cards, and you just select the cards as you go along. The instructions are constantly down in the lower left-hand corner, so that you never, ever have to worry about what button you're going to press or what you need to do with your hands. It's more of a challenge of figuring out how do you make these tiny little people happy. And that goes into the gameplay, but for controls, I am giving it a 16. We're at 50. Gameplay. It's a point and click. There's lots of puzzles. There's a fair amount of ludicrousness in here. Right down to allowing the devil to capture the corrupt vicar. It's great how you can kind of solve these puzzles without really needing a guide. There's nothing truly obscure here. Although, as you complete people's little missions, you end up you collect cards, and there are different ways to solve these problems over and over. And you get different cards representing that, which is really where the replay comes into this, which is something to talk about value-wise. But the gameplay is just, the lasso doesn't work on the old woman with the devil. She is a little grumpy, though. It's how do you solve the puzzle to get the next piece to go on and do the next puzzle. That said, you're looking at the entire map of the village, or the game. There aren't that many interactions to sort out. But that said, gameplay is fun. It is a little challenging. There's enough of a twist to keep you going. I'm giving gameplay an 18. We are at 68. Now, value-wise, even at $1.99, your first playthrough is probably going to take an hour, and you'll earn about a third of the cards, about a third of the endings. At least I did. Which means that you'll have to go back in and try different ways to solve the problems. And that's going to provide some extra value if you're into this style game and you kind of want to unlock those things. But even then, 3 hours max should get you through that, unless you stumble upon some things that just you can't figure out what to do. But yeah, value is going to be a little diminished because it's not straight. It's not that long of a game. And so value is going to get a 16. That gives it a grand total of 84. But moving on from just the scoring, this is a delightful little game. It is fun insofar as trying to figure out what it is that you have to do to solve the problems, or troubleshoot different ways of solving those problems. And yeah, on my first game or playthrough, it was an hour with interruptions, and I ended up going back and doing a little bit more and figuring out some different ways to solve the problems and everything. And it's just a fun, relaxing little romp. There's nothing that's going to stress you out here. There's nothing that's going to make you rage quit and throw your controller. You just sit back, enjoy the story, even if it's relatively short. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Made it this far, make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment, all that wonderful stuff for the algorithm, and be good people.